Well, hello everyone. My name is Brandon Sawyer. I'm Department Chair of Kinesiology and a faculty member in biology as well. Today I'm going to walk you through just some processes that have been super helpful for me as I go to create my Canvas courses each year. And pretty much I'll just kind of start by saying that I love to build systems to make things work. And I will spend hours and hours of time um, to avoid doing a menial task that just is annoying to me in order to make the system that does it for me. And sometimes at least in the initial get-go of that, sometimes that can take more time actually than doing it the first time. But once I've got my system built, then it's very, very simple. And this is a perfect example of that. So what I'm going to walk us through today is how to embed Google Sheets and Google Documents into your Canvas course so that those can be carried over from year to year. When you go to create your new Canvas course, if you copy that course over, those embedded documents will still be there. And so then you only need to make changes to the Google documents instead of making changes to the Canvas course itself. You make changes to Google Docs, everything changes automatically on Canvas, and you're all set. So some examples of that could be your syllabus page. If you have a course schedule page, that could work as well, especially if you have course overview, or weekly overview pages. So like, I know most of us back during COVID built out weekly overview pages where each week we said the topics we're covering, maybe in both lecture and lab of a course or just lecture, and then going in and changing each of those pages each semester to change that weekly topic can be quite a pain. And so I'll show a great method to do that pretty much automatically for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so now I've go ahead and shared my screen, and what you're seeing here is a folder. It's a Google Drive folder where I have some documents that would be template type documents that you can have access to. So I'll go ahead and I'll put the link right here in the YouTube video so you can click on that. And I'll also have it in the description of the video. So that should be available for anybody with who's logged into their Point Loma account to be able to view. So what you want to do is open up this folder and then make a copy of each of these documents. Okay, so there's the course schedule template, course syllabus template. There's a lab schedule template, which could work good for a lab or also could work good for a course that is maybe only taught once a week. And yeah, and then there's this other document here called it's just the outline of what we're going to be walking through, and it has step-by-step instructions as well as screenshots along the way. So I'm going to jump over to that one because we'll be walking through that. So feel free to pause the video and make copies of those things and save them to your own drive so you're ready to go. You're going to need access to those as we get rolling. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need access to a Canvas page. A couple Canvas pages that you can make some changes to. So it could be in a course that you're currently teaching right now, it could be in a course you're teaching for the future, but as long as you're able to just make a new page in there, create a page, and then you can keep that unpublished if it's not relevant to the course you're actually working in. You can always send that page to another course at any point you want. So what I want to do first is show you just kind of what the finished product looks like so we know what we're working towards. So let me go ahead and start by doing that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start here in my Bio 1040 Anatomy and Physiology 2 course. This is the home page, nothing embedded here, but I'm going to go to the modules page here. Let's go to modules. Okay, underneath modules, got a couple different things here. One of in kind of my course overview module, I have a course schedule link. Okay, it's a separate page. I'm going to click on that course schedule page, open it up, and what you see here is a Google document. This is a Google Sheets file that has my course schedule page to it. Okay, and so pretty much the deal with this is I'll show you how this document works here in a second, how the formulas work, but all I really need to do with this is change this first date up here for whatever the new semester is. It'll automatically change all of the ones below. I might need to change some of the topics there, but I do all of that editing in the Google Google Sheets document. I do not do any editing on the Canvas page. And secondly, I can delete all these YouTube videos for next year because I record my session, my classes in that class. And then I just, right after class, I upload that video to YouTube and add the link right here. But I only need to add that in Google, and then it automatically goes to Canvas, and all those links are clickable in Canvas, as you can see here. So that's one example, is the course schedule page. You can see the same thing with the lab schedule for Bio 1040. Simpler, there's no YouTube links, but there it is, our lab schedule, same thing. Change it on Google Docs only, it automatically changes here. Then let me show you one that would be a weekly overview page. So if we go to my week 1 overview page in the week 1 module, you can see I have actually just a little snippet from that calendar page for the lecture schedule up here, and then another snippet from the lab page for that for the lab schedule document here. And so there's 2 separate embedded Google documents in here, Google Sheets files really, but within that Google Sheets file, there'll be separate tabs, a tab for each week. And so I will show you how I created that as well. And then the other application that I don't have directly right here is being able to just embed your syllabus as a Google document, but I'll show you how that works here in just a sec. So now that you've seen what it looks like, let's go ahead and walk through the process of making it all happen. So go to this document here, this embedding Google Sheets and Canvas. That would be this one right here in the folder. Okay, I've just got it open here. Again, this will be an instruction manual for you, an outline for you to hold on to and keep ready to go. This has the step-by-step instructions. So we've gone over this, and then I just showed you these documents. These are those template documents. The links are right there, so you can get to those, make copies again, and have copies ready on your drive. Okay, let me go ahead and show you first of all how that course scheduling template document works, because there's some handy little formulas in there that I think can be super helpful for you. At least they are for me. So here's that course schedule template. Okay, and so one of the other really annoying tasks for me every semester used to always be changing these dates, right? I just really despise doing that. Having the calendar open on one page, or one screen, if I had 2 screens. If I didn't have 2 screens, I'm bouncing back and forth from calendar to my schedule file, and it was just always so annoying. So I just thought there's got to be a better way to do this. So there's an Excel formula for that. Okay, and even if you're not a coder or know much about Excel, this can be simple for you as well. So all we need to do is change this first date here. Okay, so this first date is just showing you this Workday International formula has the exact date that it's going to be. So let me change this. This is like next semester, actually. Let me change this to this semester instead. And let's see what that first day was. It was January 8th. So let's go and change this to January 8th. 2024, so you can just see how all these dates will change. I'm going to change this to January 8th, 2024, and now right before I click enter, watch these dates here, they're all going to change. There we go. So they all change to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all the way through. Okay, so all the way down to April 26th, the last day of class, which is tomorrow, because I'm recording this video on the 25th here. This final exam one, I just type in manually because it changes and it doesn't fit the mold exactly. So the way this formula works, if you have a 3-day-a-week class and this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just take this document, it's ready to go. If you have a different schedule of classes, then let me just give you some brief information on how this formula works. So back to our embedding Google Sheets and Canvas outline document here. Again, change the first date only, and that will work. The first day of class, you just need to update that like I just did to January 8th. Okay. The next cell below that is really just going to be taking the next date that fits in the template that you told it the course meets in, and just finding that next date and putting it there. Okay, so for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, the formula looks like this. It's going back to B2, which is that initial date. It's adding 1 work day to that, okay? And then it's using this to know which days are the work days, okay? So the way this works is there's 7 letters or 7 numbers there, okay? First number represents Monday, last number represents Sunday, okay? Any place that there's a 0 is a work day, okay? So for a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, there's a 0 for Monday, skip 1, there's a 1 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, okay? So if you want to do a Tuesday, Thursday class instead, your formula should look like this. All you got to do is take this formula, starting with the equal sign, paste it into, let's go to it, paste it into this cell right here. Paste that formula in, replaces it, and then all you need to do is drag down this formula like this, and it'll go all the way down, and it'll change that whole thing to a Tuesday, Thursday setup. Obviously, you'll have to change some of the borders and things like that if you want to have it as a weekly thing like I do there. But that's it, okay? If you want to do it for a Monday, Wednesday class, that's right here. Again, it's just where those zeros are. Tuesday only class will be right there. If you have questions about that, you need some help with that, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to help, no problem at all, okay? So that's a big help to me. The other thing that was really helpful for me with this document is half the time I walk into class and I'm not even sure what I'm teaching that day, right? And I don't know what assignments are due that week. So I start most of my classes by putting this up on the screen, reminding the students what we're doing this week, what's due this week, and reminding myself what I'm doing today, as well as the rest of the week. So super, super helpful to keep me on track, have the students always have a place where they can go to check what's going on for the week. So that's that document, okay? So now let's go back to our outline here, okay? So this is, oh yeah, let me show you one more thing with this document here, okay? So this one here, this tab is the full calendar, okay? But I've set it up so each of these tabs here pull only the data from each week, okay? So you'll see this, for some reason my 1 disappeared there, I'll put that back in. So week 1 here, okay? You can see week 1, if we click on the week 1 tab, it has only the info from week 1, week 2, week 2, okay? The way this works is simply just pasting in the header here, okay? So paste in whatever your header is. Obviously, you might not have a link to the video. You might have something else in that column. Paste that in exactly like you want. And then this is just referencing the full calendar tab, cell B2. Okay, so if the one you make, so it's just taking this right here, B2, and putting it over in that other tab. Okay, and then all you got to do, if this is different for you, if this is B3 instead of B2, change it to B3, and then take this and drag it over like this, and it'll update it with whatever you've got there. Okay, the formatting doesn't automatically go over with it, so you'll need to change the formatting to whatever you want it to look like. I have these different shades of green, whatever, but you can change that, and then you'll be set. And we'll see why that makes, this is the one that's going to correspond to those weekly overview pages where it just shows each week of the data. Okay, the other document I'll show you real quick is the lab schedule one. Okay, so this one doesn't have any automation to it, but this is the one we'll use to put the lab schedule in, and this also has those weekly tabs as well. Okay, so let's go back to our outline, see where we're at. So that just kind of explained that. Next step is we're going to need to publish these files to the web before we can embed them in our Canvas courses. Okay, so that's what this next step is showing here. So let's go back to the course. Actually, let's use this one instead. We'll start with my course syllabus template. Okay, so to make this Google Doc, I literally just copied my text from my Canvas syllabus page, and then I just copied it into a Google Doc here. Some of the things didn't work out right, like this image. I needed to replace some of the spacing I needed to mess with to get it to fit on the pages like I wanted to, but links still work. Everything else still works. So it'll take a little bit of work if you're taking it from Canvas, putting it here, but then once you have it here, you only need to make changes on this document instead of in Canvas. And this can be really helpful for following syllabus templates like we need to do. And as those syllabus templates change, our department assistant is wonderful, and she can she goes in and tells us where we have problems where we're not meeting or matching the template. But she does that in Canvas, which is kind of a pain. So it'd be much easier if we had all of our syllabus files just in the Google Drive folder. She can go in, make a comment, tell us what needs to change, or even change it herself. It'll automatically update on a Canvas page as well. So that could be a great way to solve that problem and make that process a little bit simpler. So we're going to start with this course syllabus page here, and I'm going to show you how to embed this into a Canvas page. Okay, so first step, go up to File. Under File, we're going to go to Share. Over in Share, we're going to go to Publish to the Web. Okay, now we see a couple options here. It can be a link or embed. We want to click over on embed. Okay, and we're just going to click this publish button. Are you sure you want to? Yep. Okay, now we have some code here. Okay, don't let this code scare you. You don't have to understand it. All you gotta do is copy it. Okay, so I'm going to press Control-C. I'm going to copy that embed code. Now I'm going to go over to my Canvas page that is ready to receive this. Okay, I just made a test syllabus page here. I'm going to click on Edit to edit this page. Okay, now this is your normal text editor. You do not want to copy it, or you don't want to paste that embed code into the text. It'll just show up as text. What we need to do is we need to get into the HTML editor instead. So right here down at the bottom where my cursor is, see this little icon right here. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. That takes you into the HTML editor mode. Okay, click on that. Now you got this line here, line 1. Looks a little bit different. I'm going to paste that embed code in. Just press Control-V. It goes in. Okay, this is just referencing that document. Okay, now I'm going to click Save here. It's not going to look good. Okay, but I want you to see what it looks like if you don't make any changes to this code. Okay, so I'm going to click Save. Okay, that's not good. We got this tiny little window for the syllabus that's not working. Okay, so the one thing we need to do to make this better is we need to tell the Canvas page how big we want this window to be to fit the document that we just embedded. Okay, so we go back to Edit. We're going to go back to the HTML editor. Okay, so we got our code still there, but now what we need to do is we need to put in a little bit of extra code to tell it what size that window needs to be. Okay, so the way we're going to do that is we're going to go back to our outline here. Okay, this is what we just did, the steps publishing it to the web, the embed code, we got all that. Okay, we created our Canvas page, we pasted it in. This was our button we used here. Okay, we pasted our code in. And then right towards the end of that code, before we get to this iframe stuff, okay, before we get to these two little arrows and before we get to the iframe thing, right before that, we need to put some extra code in to tell it what size to make that window. Okay, so for a long Google Doc, like this syllabus Google Doc that I just included, we're going to use something like this. Okay, so we're going to take this text right here. You can take it right from this document, and I'm going to copy this. So Control-C. Okay, so this is telling it what width to make the window and what height to make the window. Okay, so let's go back to our syllabus page. And again, we want to put it right here. See where my cursor is, right there, before those two arrows, before the iframe thing. Okay, then all I need to do is press Control-V, put that in there. So now it's telling it how wide to make the window and how long to make the window. Let's go ahead and save it. What do we got? There it is. So we got a nice syllabus page here. It's got everything I had in that syllabus. And there's no little window, there's no little scroll bars that I have to use to see the rest of it. It's all there. Okay. If yours is not as long as mine, if you don't need quite that size of a window, or if you need a longer one, let me show you how to adjust that. Again, we're going into Edit, HTML code. We're just going to change this height one. Okay, so that one was actually a little bit longer than I needed too, because there was some blank screen at the bottom. Let's try to just change this to 9,500 instead of 10,000. Okay, I'm going to click Save. All right, let's see how that looks now at the bottom. A little bit better. I don't have as much white space down here. And then let me show you what it looks like if you make it too short. We'll go back to that HTML code. If I made this 5,000 instead of 9,500, it's going to be too short, and we're going to have to scroll within the scrolling, right? You got one scroll over here, another one over here. That's kind of messy, kind of annoying, so I don't like that. So if you see that scroll bar within your window, then I would say make that a little bit longer. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to And it's just really just trial and error, right? You're just messing around, seeing what you can figure out. 95,000 is not what I want. Let's go 9,500. Click save. And now we're back in business. No scroll bar within the scroll bar, not much white space in the bottom. So we're good to go. Okay, let me show you now how to do this with a weekly overview page. Okay, so let me actually, before I show you the weekly overview page, let me show you how to do a full schedule page, which that'll involve publishing our calendar page. Okay, so that's going to be the same process. Let's go to this course schedule template sheet. Okay, I'm going to go over to tab 1 because that's our full calendar page. I'm going to have a Canvas page ready to receive that. So here's my blank Canvas page. It's just my tests course schedule page. Okay, let's go back to our course schedule template. Okay, going to go through the same process. File, share, publish to the web. Instead of link, we're going to go embed. Okay, now there's something a little different here because this one has multiple tabs, right? So this one says entire document. I'm going to go ahead and publish the entire document first. We're going to use that drop-down menu here in a sec. So I'm going to publish the entire document. Press OK. All right. So there's our embed code for the entire document. Okay. So if I just want them to see a certain tab, then I can actually, if I just want to see the full calendar tab, I can do that and then get this code and it'll only allow them to see the full calendar. If I just want to see week 5, then I can do that. Right. So that's code changes when you choose different ones. And for this course schedule page, I'm going to choose the entire document, because then it actually gives them the option to click on the tabs down below. Okay, so I'll do this for the course schedule page. I'll get this HTML code, copy it. Let's go to our test page here. I'm going to edit this page, go down to the HTML editor. Okay, I'm going to paste that code in. Now this one is, we need to change the window size. It's not as long as the whole syllabus one was. So I have this suggested down here in this outline that you have. We're going to go width 100%, but then height only 2000. Okay, so let's copy that little bit of code there. And we're going to take it over to the course schedule page. Again, this looks a little bit different than the Google Doc one was, but still, we're going to put it right before those arrows before the iframe thing. Okay, we're going to paste that in. You got our text there about what size to make the window, and I'm going to click save. There we go. It's ready to go, all set. And you can see, since I did the full course schedule, they can actually click on the tabs here. So that might be useful to you if you have things in those tabs you want them to see, but they obviously have the whole thing here as well. So, but if you do want to use that, then that's available. Okay, so that's our course schedule one. So now I will show you how to do this for a course overview page. Okay, so let me just save this. This is not a course overview, but a weekly overview page. Okay, so here's a weekly overview page. I'm going to go in to start editing this document before I go back to the Google Doc. Okay, so I'm going to edit. So for my course, there's a lecture portion and there's a lab portion. Okay, so I'm going to put some text in here before I go to the HTML editor. Okay, so just normal text editor. I'm going to say, welcome to week 1 in bio 1040. Then I'll say, here's what's, I don't know, going on this week in lecture. Okay, so I'm going to have a little section where I have the lecture calendar. I'm going to make some space here. And then I'm going to say, here's what's going on in lab. Okay, so I got my text in there now. And I want to put the embedded part for the lecture right here, the embedded part for the lab right here. Okay, so I'm going to give myself some space. I'm going to put my cursor right there. It's not really going to matter where my cursor was. But now I'm going to go to the HTML code. It's going to look different now because I just put a bunch of stuff in there, right? But we can still see what it is. You don't have to be a coder to understand this. Look, you can see welcome to week 1 in bio 1040. There it is. Okay, here's what's going on this week in lecture. And these all represent spaces. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go right from here. make a little more space, and I'm going to put some code right there. But I'm going to put the little snippet just from the week 1 tab only. So let's go back to our course schedule template. We're back in our embed spot that we were before. Now, instead of doing the entire document, I'm going to click here on week 1. Okay. I'm going to copy all of this code. It's a little bit longer here. Control C, copy it, and I'm going to paste that right in. Okay, so there's our code. Again, we need to tell it what size to make the window. It's going to be in the same spot here. I've given you an example of what you should do for this. This one's a lot smaller, right? Because it's just that one little snippet. So what I use is width of 90% and height of 225. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that into that spot right there. Okay, so that's our first one. Right, so now I want to add the course, the lab part as well. So I'm going to click enter here a couple times. We got a spot where we're going to put it. I'm going to go to that lab schedule template. This one I may need to publish. I don't know if it's published yet. Oh, it still is. Embed again. I'm going to choose week 1 tab. Copy this code. And I'm going to go to not that one, but this one. Paste that code in. Same idea. It needs to go, we need to tell it what size to do the window. I'm going to use that same code that I did before. Okay, so it's going to go right there. Going to click it, paste it, and now let's save and see what it looks like. There we go. So we've got two different embedded documents on this one page, because it's all of my week 1 stuff, right? And I don't really like all this space here, actually. It's a little bit too much. There's a little bit too much space down here. So then I'm going to go back and fix that. So let's go back to edit. We got to go into the HTML editor. If you try to edit here, it can be a little bit tricky. Well, we can try it. Let's try it. Yeah, we can take the spaces out here without going into the HTML editor, and that's probably simpler. So that should be about it. Let me hit save, see if that worked. Good, so that put them a little bit closer. Yeah, and so that's an example of how to do this. Let's go back to our document here. We've done all this. We've done the each tab. Here's the screenshots for that, so you can reference back to that. And now the nice thing is you can copy this Canvas course as many times as needed, and all that stuff will carry over. So maybe I should just show you a quick example of what happens there. Let's go to our test weekly overview page, and let's just look here. So this says the first week is January 8th, 10th, and 12th, right? And then the week of lab are the dates there, okay? Well, that's for this past year. Let's say I'm going to change this for the fall, okay? So let's go into that document, right? So let's get out of here. I want to make this fall instead. So let's make it September. I'm going to say September 3rd. Well, I think it's September 2nd is the Monday. September 3rd is a Tuesday. That's Labor Day, but that's okay. So I'm going to click enter. Again, that's going to change all the dates down below. It also changed it on the week 1 tab, right? September. Okay, so now let's go to that web page we just made that change on. Still says January 8th, right? But let's just refresh it and see what happens. Still says January 8th. Sometimes it does take a minute, so we'll give that a second. But yeah, usually within a minute or two, it will be refreshed. So while we're waiting for that, let's change the lab page to, which is here. Let's just change this to September 2nd through the 5th, something like that. Okay. And so it's saving. That's part of the process here. That one's good. Let's go back to our page now. See if these things updated for us. Still not updated there, but we will. Yeah, it will update here in a second. Okay, so we made that change here. Now let's go back and just see if that page is updated yet. And I'm going to refresh it, and it looks like it has. And so I did pause the video recording and waited about 5 minutes. So just so you know, it doesn't happen immediately when you make a change like that, but it's within a few minutes. So it's not really too big of an issue. So yeah, that is mostly what we got to cover here today. Again, yeah, you can you can copy that Canvas course, and those documents will stay embedded. And you just make changes there. You don't have to make changes anywhere else. I'm happy to help anybody that needs help with this. Shoot me an email, I'll come to your office. If you get stuck on some of that code or the Excel formula, or you want to reformat that Excel or that Google Sheets document, and you're not sure how to do that, just shoot me an email. Happy to help. Hopefully this will save you some time, and good luck.